to a loved one. Thank you, thank you.
Thanks a lot, Lily. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
All right.
Ah.
Yeah, back to B flat.
Sounds great. Well, thanks everybody for being here tonight. It's really nice to see y'all. The late show party people. Well, this is the tune. It's been a long time ago now. We've been friends since we were teenagers, but one day I got this pipe tune in my head and I couldn't figure out what it was, and I knew EJ would know. We hadn't talked to each other in a long time, and I asked him what it was, and you knew, and this is it, and this is why we're playing together now.
So it's not all gonna be that volume.
I do have extra earplugs in case anyone needs them.
The the big Highland pipes. There are lots of people, thousands of people all over the world who play that bagpipe in every country you can imagine. And of course, not just in Scotland, not just in North America, not just in the Commonwealth countries, but in all over Europe, even in France, where they have a pipe band in every town, a local like a Breton pipe band, not a Scottish pipe band. They still also have Scottish pipe bands there. And so it's this great social thing you can do. You get together in this big support group and march around and play weddings and festivals and have just all kinds of fun. But as you play your career in Highland piping and these wonderful, grand, loud instruments, all pipers have a secret dream that manifests eventually. And that dream is that one day they would play quietly. And that's where I come in, because I make an instrument that plays quietly. And it's not something I invented. It's an adaptation of the Northern English Northumbrian pipe and the Southern Scottish Lowland pipe. It's called a Scottish small pipe. And so we're going to play you something on that.
It's a little song that comes from Northern England, but the story goes back through the Jewish tradition in Russia and into China in BC times. It's a very old tale about a farmer who has good things happen to him and bad things happen to him. And the point is, just hang on and wait and see. It might be all right. Was a farmer and he sent his son into the mountains for his horse to graze. The boy fell asleep and he awoke, his horse had gone. He came home alone and all the neighbors said, what bad luck, but the farmer said, how do you know? How do you know? How do you know? Sent his son into the mountains to try and catch the runaway. He found his horse and 7 other wild ones. He brought them home, but all the neighbors said, what good luck, but the farmer said, how do you know? How do you know? How do you know? Thank you. Well, it was just Halloween, and I hope everyone had a great Halloween. I sure did. I was a wolf spider. And we all know how Wolf Loescher, he loves to dress up. So Halloween, of course, is his favorite time. And he couldn't let it go. He's dressed up as Emily tonight. And so, Wolf.
Just doesn't know when to stop. So we're going to play you some tunes. The first one is from the Celtic part of Spain, from Galicia. And I learned it from I stole it from, I didn't learn it from, he didn't teach it to me. I just listened to his music because he's a fabulous musician. His name is Carlos Nunez. He's probably the most famous bagpiper in the entire world. And he plays this tune, a traditional tune from where he's from. And right down the street, there used to be a coffee shop called Cafe Avino. And my good friend, Richard Keene, and I would go, and we would play there on Tuesday night, every Tuesday night, and we would just play and play and play. And Richard composed these tunes, the first of which is Cafe Avino. So we're going to play you some Richard Keene tunes and a traditional Spanish Celtic tune.
Thanks. This is so fun. It is really fun having Emily play with us tonight. I'm so glad that you could fill in. We'll do a little song from Ireland now. We're in an Irish bar. And it's one of the sweetest little songs in all the world. It's the old Galway Bay. There are a couple different songs called Galway Bay, but this is the older one. And it was written at the turn of the last century by a doctor in Galway who just loves where he's from. So he wrote this little song. Well, we'll stick in Ireland for now. We're going to do a couple of O'Carolan tunes, but really the first one is often attributed to O'Carolan, but it's not actually one of his. Turlough O'Carolan the harper from the mid to late 1700s. He became blind at the age of 15 by smallpox, but luckily for him, he was a really good musician. So he had options. And he roamed the country his whole entire life after that, playing music and not renting, hanging out at the big houses around the country for the rich folk who hired him and fed him, and he had a nice life. He wrote a bunch of music inspired by the Baroque composers of the time, and so his tunes are really complicated, and it's a miracle that they all, well, I don't know if they all survive, but a lot of them do, and it's really wonderful. But the first one's actually not his. But it's called Thomas Leekslip the Proud. It actually comes from an opera that was popular in the mid-1700s. And AJ is going to play an actual O'Carolan tune.
We just finished, Francis and I just finished a stint at the Maryland Renaissance Festival. That's up in Annapolis, and it's a Renaissance festival that is very different from a lot of Renaissance festivals that I've played, in that the ownership, well, first of all, it's the second largest Renaissance festival in the entire country. Second to what other festival, I have no idea. But the owners they act like a nonprofit. It's a for-profit business, but they act like a nonprofit festival. That means they pay us more than they have to. They charge the audience less than they have to. It's a non-tipping show, so there's nobody asks for tips. The owners just tell us, what do you need to make in tips? We'll just pay it to you. And that way you're not asking the audience. The audience gets to stay there the entire time. They're not being asked for anything. Just have a good time. And they have all this free stuff like a playground and pony rides, and they're really nice to work for. And so we get really into playing Renaissance music when we're there, and the first Renaissance tunes I ever learned were right here in Houston. I got to go to the big auditorium, I think it's the Wortham Auditorium at U of H back in 1990. A friend of mine, his parents had tickets, but they were out of town, so he said, hey, you want to go? We were both 15 years old, and we went to the Christmas revels for the first time. And they hired the Philadelphia Renaissance Wind Ensemble, this big group, to come down and play for the revels. And it just blew my mind. The music was so good. And I spent my only money on their CD, which was called Keeping the Watch. And I still listen to that CD all the time. I got to meet them, and I said, I love your CD. And they're like, oh, God, that thing. No, that's out of print. No. Anyway, it's with a lot of love that we play this tune that I got off that CD. Embarrassing. Yeah, it's probably embarrassing for them.
The last tune we play in honor of our good friend Steve Quillen, who loves that tune, the president of the Grandfather Mountain Highland Games. We always think of Steve when we play that, so if you're watching, Steve, that's for you.
I was being asked by an interviewer just yesterday, Francis and I are going on the road, and we're kind of midway through a Western tour, starting up at that Renaissance Festival up in Annapolis. Then we played the Arkansas Scottish Games last weekend. Now we're here, and tomorrow we're driving to Albuquerque, where we are going to make many wrong turns. And we're going to play all around New Mexico, and then we'll go to Arizona, and then Southern California, Northern California, and then we're done. And so it's weeks on the road, and I've got the wonderful Rachel Rogers to thank for the western half of the tour, and also for the design of a T-shirt that we've got for sale. If anybody wants one, you've already got one. That's great. Excellent. It's got like a Southwestern theme because she books for the Turquoise Trail concert series, which is very cool. And so the interviewer from Prescott, Arizona was asking me, are you going to be playing a lot of original music? And he had asked me about traditional music, and I said, well, actually, it is traditional to play original music, because in any tradition, you've got to contribute to the tradition, and there's almost nobody better that I know who contributes to the Irish music tradition than Frances Cunningham right here.
Aw, thank you.
We're going to play an original tune by her.
I wrote it for my grandma, she sounds like a fictional superhero when I talk about her. The tune's called Miss Pat, because in Winnie, Texas, that's how she was known. She sang in Carnegie Hall. She could have had a career as a portrait painter. She just did all kinds of things, including she was a champion roller skater with her sister. They had a roller skating duet, and she had a wall of trophies. And so I was imagining her in her little skating skirt with her sister doing their skating routine, and I wrote this tune for her called Miss Pat. And our good friend Katie's going to play it with us. It's an honor to play with Katie, one of the best fiddle players, seriously, in the whole country. have some more tunes in a little bit. Great. I know this one. Wow. I was looking, how many Scottish tunes have we actually played tonight? I think 2 this whole night so far, but this song is a Scottish song. And it's an old one, but it tells an even older story of a boy who falls in love with a girl, and she wants no part of it. Until he reveals at the end that he's got a castle, then she's a little bit interested.
I should say that this song was sung by Archie Fisher, who's the songwriter of The Witch of the Westmoreland. And we got to go to Ireland this past summer. We got to go with 35 people who became, some of whom already were good friends, but everybody became really good friends, and it was really wonderful. I was just telling some friends of mine about how great it was to be on the tour and have so much time together to just hang out, to talk, to have really long talks, and see this beautiful countryside, and let the sights kind of pervade you and kind of take that with you, and then you find yourself acting a little different when you come back home because you've just seen this beautiful country, and let it get in you. So after the tour, Frances and I went to visit a friend of hers in southern Scotland, and she took us on a trip, and she happened to take us through all these areas that Archie Fisher had written about in one of his songs, and it was really meaningful for us. But here's a song he used.
We both got a little weepy. I cry all the time, but even EJ got a little emotional. It was
Sure
really
did.
wonderful.
Yeah.
But so we love Archie Fisher. So this is not that song. This is a different one.
We
It's
don't want
just fun to
everybody
talk
crying.
about.
Feel free to cry.
As I was on my rambles, I came from Dover to Carlisle. The town was full of rebels, and you might have heard them for a mile. I stepped under the grapes to see what entertainment I could find. Not being raced, I ran the risk, and I called for a pint of wine. In spite of handsome bonny lass, the flower of France and England. I'd been in a hurry, I for a private room they call. They sent me to the caddy, the lad that ring the morning bell. And then came this brisker maid, she said, "Kind sir, come follow me. It is not fit that you should sit among such roving company. My handsome smiling bonny lass, the flower of France and England." She took me to a chamber where everything was neat and clean. She said, "Young sir, it is not fit, you should have something on to dine." The table soon she covered o'er, and dinner soon she did bring in. She looked not like an idle girl, nor one that was not taught to spin. My handsome smiling bonny lass, the flower of France and England. But I could not take my dinner for thinking on this pretty maid. And if I could but win her, I would not care how long I stayed. I rang the bell, she heard the knell, and straight to me she did prepare. I said, "My dear, the table's gone, come sit beside me on this chair." My handsome smiling bonny lass, the flower of France and England. She said, "Young sir, you are as bad as any in this house tonight. You're drunk and you are mad, or else you would not speak the like. Take up this cup and drink it up, and drive such fancies out by sleep. For if he dreamed you had me wed, I'm sure he would arise and weep." My handsome smiling bonny lass, the flower of France and England. But I could not fall asleep for thinking on this pretty lass. Her time is scouring among the pewter and the brass. Yes, I think this is my favorite song we do. It's called, well, the song I'm going to sing is called the East Virginia Blues, and it's one that's been sung by everybody from the Stanley Brothers to the Monkees and everybody in between. And then EJ's going to sing an Irish song.
An Irish song by a songwriter who can destroy you with his lyrics, a guy named John Spillane from Cork.
Feel free to cry. Oh, I will. I was born in East Virginia, North Carolina. I didn't go. There I met a fair young maiden named an age I do not know. Named an age I do not know.
If you did, even if you did, been where you shouldn't have been, seen what you shouldn't have seen, dreamed what you shouldn't have dreamed, that doesn't mean you have to be locked here forever. I'm
All
gonna
her
set you
hair was dark and curly, and her cheeks rosy red. On her breast she wore a white lily, where I long to lay my head. Where I long to lay my head.
Even if you did, know what you should have known, thrown what you shouldn't have thrown, shown what you shouldn't have shown. That doesn't mean you have to be paying the price forever. I'm
I
gonna
don't
set you
want your greenback dollars. I don't want your watch and chain. All I want is your heart, darling. Say you'll take me back again. Say you'll take me back
If you did, all you know you did. Suffer from a broken heart, got off to a poor start. Maybe you fell apart, that doesn't mean you have to be paying the price forever. I'm
The
gonna
ocean's
set you
deep and I can't wait it, and I have no wings to fly. I'll just get me a blue-eyed boatman for to row me o'er the tide. For to row me o'er the tide.
Even if you did, been where you shouldn't have been, seen what you shouldn't have seen, dreamed what you shouldn't have dreamed. That doesn't mean you have to be paying the price forever. I'm gonna
You
set you
know
free.
I'd love to see you, and my gate you welcome in, and my door I'll always greet you. You're the girl I'm trying to win. You're the girl I'm trying to win. I'll go back to East Virginia, North Carolina ain't my home. I'll go back to East Virginia. Leave the North Carolinians alone. Leave the North Carolinians alone. Leave the North Carolinians alone. Thanks. I actually learned that song right here because this was a long time ago, but Beppe Gambetta, this guitar player from Italy, came through, who is fantastic. And all the Irish music crowd, we all came out to hear him, and we fell madly in love. We had Beppe fever for the longest time, and that's one of the songs he sang, and I just fell in love with him and this song. So there's a Houston connection there. That's been a long time ago now. That was a fun time. Some of y'all might have even been here. Oh, yes. Katie, would you please come up so we can have some more tunes? Katie is seriously the best.
We play the North Texas Irish Festival quite a lot. Not every year, but every once in a while. And the song that we just did, John Spillane, I got to see him when they brought Nomos from Ireland. And that's the power of a festival when they've got a budget to fly an entire band over. And sometimes that band can have a lot of influence on the music scene when there are young people in the music scene and they're looking at that band. I know that there are people in Texas who sing songs that they heard Nomos do 25 years ago. And we just did one.
I remember that NTIF. It was
Yeah.
amazing.
And somebody I used to see there every year was a guy named Larry Rohn. Larry Rohn, I think, was one of the founders of NTIF. And he was a performer there with a group called Poor Man's Fortune. And so one day I went into the green room where this festival is completely different than other festivals in that they give you free beer backstage. Yeah. There's no other festival that I know of that does that. And so we were all backstage, and I go back there, and I see Larry, and Larry says, EJ, come here for a second. Try this whistle. And he hands me a whistle just like this. And I tried the whistle, and I said, oh, my gosh, that's amazing. This is a beautiful whistle. And he said, yeah, $8. I got it at that booth selling little green hats over there, just down the lane. And so I said, I got to go get one. And so I went over and I paid my $8 and got a whistle just like this. And we sat there and played whistle in the backstage and just had the best time playing these little $8 whistles. And both of us have $5,000 flutes in our bags, And Larry very sadly died of cancer a couple years ago, but I've got his whistle, and I'm going to play his whistle on these beautiful tunes.
Some of the sweetest, most beautiful tunes there are. Katie played these the other night, this Wednesday at the session, and it was fun. McGonigel. The session's here every Wednesday. We've both been coming since we were teenagers. All of us been coming here since we were teenagers. Wednesday night, I used to sneak out after my dad went to bed and come down here and learn how to play Irish music. Katie's down here. It's a great thing that happens here every single Wednesday night.
And whenever we're in town, we're always here on Wednesday. Like this past Wednesday.
Yeah.
And
Got to play with Mark, too.
yeah, sure did. So this is, you ever go to a concert and somebody yells out "Freebird"? Well, what people call out to us is whiskey in the jar. One time I was playing a festival up in Oklahoma, and they were doing this kind of after the festival, this like closing, not a jam, but like where every group goes up and does one number. And it was like a Renaissance festival, even though it was a medieval festival, but they don't care. And so the first band did Whiskey in the Jar, and then another band came up, and they had just come off stage at another part of the festival, and somebody said, "Okay, it's your time," and so they went up and they played Whiskey in the Jar. And then another band came up from another part of the festival, and they hadn't been paying attention either, and it was their time to go up, and they played Whiskey in the Jar. And I was there with a bagpipe band with my friend Al and a really good friend on bombard playing named Rosalind playing bombard. And so I said, "All right, everybody, Whiskey in the Jar, come on," And we played it. We played it on the pipes, and that was it, and we just stormed off. So we're going to play you our version of Whiskey in the Jar.
What?
If I had my life to live, I sure would live it over. Only walking brand new shoes and just slide down in Clover. Only work Tunes whiskey. Sure, yeah.
Big noise.
Yeah. We're gonna do a set of tunes that I used to listen to when I was playing the parade at the Texas Renaissance Festival a long time ago. And what would happen is the pipers, and I loved playing the parade because it was just so fun, and we play all these harmonies and stuff, and it was really fun to play with the guy I was playing with, Lars Sloan, who started the whole bagpipe thing out there back in the 80s. If anybody knew Lars, yeah. So anyway, yeah, he kind of started that whole thing. He started a lot of things, a lot of great things that nobody else was gonna start except for him. So what used to happen is there were some pikemen who would march in front of us, and when we were taking a break marching the parade, they would whistle this tune. And so I just really got this tune in my head and put it with another tune I used to play for dancers, and here goes. Set of Playford tunes.
Oh, hey. Okay, ready? That was fun.
Yay, AJ's gonna play the small pipes again, which he made himself. I didn't make my own bouzouki. I did make a chicken coop rail once that they sat on, but it was crooked. But so I guess I'm a woodworker too. Yeah. purpose. That's right. Keeper set?
Oh, sure. Thought we were doing the road song.
Oh no, we had Keeper.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we just added, I see.
Yeah, I think we just replaced it.
Oh, okay, great. In that case, hang on a minute.
Come on and be a band with me and let them see what I can see. You're up and high, voice and key, and I'll take you on the road. Though we drive past break of day, we'd have a tune along the way. We'd venture out, then come what may, we'd play our way back home. And we'll play all the way. We'll break out on the I will play all the way. We'll play all the way back home. Step off the ledge in front of town. I don't know if we're up or down. Raise your voice now, hear a sound. Take that on the road. Come on, you oaks and evergreens. I'll blow you all around the scene. Parade with us has never been. Play the way back home. And we'll play all the way. We'll break out on the road. I will play all the way. Play all the way back home. Tell me how a heart can mend, just fall back on a pile of friends. Belong to the party that never ends. Take that on the road. There you are out on the road where all your working gigs are done. Stare at the stars and sing a song all the way back home. I will play all the way. We'll break out on the road. I will play all the way. We'll play all the way back home. We can stand and be with the ones we love here on this earth and up above. Pray in the sun on Rebel Grove and we'll take them on the road. We can stand and be with the ones we love here on this earth and up above. Pray in the sun on Rebel Grove. I won't play all the way. We'll break out on the road. I won't play all the way. We'll play all the way back. We'll play all the way. We'll break out on the road.
Play all the way. Yeah. Play all the way back home. EJ Jones over here.
You did not, but let's do it anyway.
We're gonna do it anyway.
Yes.
What are we
It's
doing?
okay to cry.
Everybody, please give it up for Emily Dugas on percussion. Unfortunately, Wolf couldn't be here. Wolf and Christina couldn't be here because they came down with COVID, and I'm really sorry. And I hope they get better. Really hope they're feeling better, and that they're going to be, doing all their wonderful activities again really soon. They're probably still having to do half of them. They're probably still having to work quite a lot, even sick.
Yeah.
But Emily has stepped in with almost no rehearsal and just amazing. Emily and I have been playing together a very long time, and I really seriously think Emily is the best Boron player I've ever heard in my entire life. I'm sorry to all the wonderful, all still very good Boron players in Texas, but
Hey, could you tell me the meter of this one? Oh,
So
no.
good.
No?
So-
All right.
It's not like you had any other preparation.
so
We're not
Oh, yeah,
great
the me-
about planning ahead.
I'll just watch your fingers.
the meter of this one is in 4.
It's okay. I'll just watch your fingers.
It's okay. You're gonna kill it anyway.
Yes.
So come say hi to us if you want to know anything about us. Francis and I are going to be on a long 3-week tour after this, going to Albuquerque tomorrow, and we've got tour T-shirts over there, and we have the album that this track is named after, or the album is named after this track. And thanks everybody for being here.
We are, by the way, we're doing the Ireland trip again next summer in July, and we have information about that back there. We had the best time this past summer recently. And so if you want to go to Ireland and want to do it with us, we'd love to have you.
Which one?
much for being here tonight.
Thank you, Cleveland.